Welcome to Senior Moments. I'm Linda Brayman. It's just going to get hotter, so be sure to have plenty of iced tea in the fridge. You can drink it outside or inside while you're watching Senior Moments. Senior Moments covers events and activities at senior centers in the Ann Arbor Ypsilanti area, such as the Ann Arbor Senior Center, Turner Senior Resource Center, the Pittsfield Senior Center, and the Ann Arbor Community Center. Also, the show provides valuable information for senior citizens on such issues as health, wealth, finance, and entertainment. Senior Moments is a monthly show. It premieres on the last Sunday of the month at 5 p.m., and it reruns 10 times a week on CTN Channel 16. Please check out our website, a2gov.org/CTN, for the playback schedule. Also, you can watch the show on YouTube. Please log on to youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to view current and archived shows. Don't go away. It starts right now.
Welcome to Senior Moments. I'm your host, Brigitte Maassen. As you know, Ann Arbor has excellent public transportation organization, TheRide, as well as its regular bus services. The company particularly offers programs for senior citizens and people with disabilities. Today, we have Tracy Byrd, Mobility Services Coordinator for TheRide, and she is going to talk about these services. Welcome, Tracy.
Well, thank you for having me. Such a lovely day to be here.
I know you have been here before 3 years ago, and obviously things have changed in the meantime with TheRide, because I have some information I felt like, but anyway, and thank you for coming again. And then also, maybe you want to talk about the current changes, what's happening today, you know, with TheRide, and then also to ask you about Mobility Service Coordinator. That sounds, you know, really interesting. So what do you do?
Well, I actually have three main things that I do at TheRide. First and foremost, actually, I'm a travel trainer. That was my job title. The job title changed, but my role did not change. So what that means is that I train people how to ride the bus. My primary customers are older adults and persons with disabilities. However, anybody who needs to be pointed in the right direction, or sometimes it's just about feeling comfortable on the buses and knowing how to plan their routes. I do that. I do things like this, public outreach. I go to different senior centers and apartment communities, to different health fairs, things like that. And then I also, and I know we're going to discuss a little bit later, our A-Ride program, but I do the eligibility for our paratransit program. So, and then anything else that's not included, right?
Okay. And then also, I think maybe you might have entered it, you kind of, in your previous interview, talked about teaching classes. So those are the ones you just talked about?
Yes. Now I do a couple of different types of classes. I will go into facilities. I know Turner Senior Resource Center, I've gone there a number of times, and I'll do group trainings. So usually when something like that goes on, we have three classes. The first class, we sit and we talk about the buses, how to read a schedule, things of that nature. And then we come up with two different locations in which we want to go. So the next 2 weeks, it's about riding the bus. The first week, we just make a trip somewhere, riding a bus, and then the second week we have to be able to transfer buses. So it gets people in a group setting some comfortability of riding the bus and navigating. Yeah. But so, then I also do individual training with people, and again, that could be a destination training, which is pretty intensive for somebody who may have never been on a bus in their life, to somebody just showing them the ropes on what our system is.
So how do you find out about it? I mean, you know, about those classes. I mean, do you advertise them, or how, or people just word by mouth, or how does it go?
Good question. Generally, I work with a lot of different agencies, with WISD and community mental health. Again, I get out there and just tell people who I am and what our programs are, and then they invite me in, and usually they do their own advertising for the program.
Okay, because I was just thinking, I might just, for my own information, would like to find, more out myself about it,
Right.
Maybe in the near future I might be able not to drive anymore, and I need the ride more, often than and I'm lucky where I live. At the end of the street, I have a bus stop, which is very helpful, So
Yes, it is. And and anytime that you would like to learn how to ride the bus, you just give me a call.
yes, I know. I have now the connection. That's all. It's not who you know, what you know, or so whatever,
Exactly.
Okay. And then also, how about the GoldRide? Do you still do this GoldRide? And so maybe you could explain what the GoldRide is.
Yes, so GoldRide is a program strictly for persons. It's age-based, so any person 65 or older can qualify for a GoldRide card. And with that card, that allows you to ride our public buses for free. Now, we do have a shared ride program. This is where things changed a bit. We talked about the changes
Right.
Pre-pandemic and now. GoldRide, we still do that same shared ride service. However, it is contracted out with Golden Limousine, so we do not do any of
I
the
see.
booking for that.
Yeah.
Once you qualify for GoldRide, you get a user's guide
Yeah.
and numbers to call to book
Right.
trips.
So do you have to pay for this?
Yes.
I mean, the customer pays for it, or how does that work?
Yes, it is, and the cost has gone up. It is $20 each way for those rides,
Yeah.
for that shared ride service through Golden Limousine, or for the GoldRide program.
Yeah. Is that fairly new? Because I never heard of it.
It is. That was something when in 2020, actually August of 2020, the GoldRide program was put on pause, and then in August of 2021, it came back with those changes. So I know we don't have a lot of time today to discuss why those changes took place. However, they did take place, and so it is back, and that's the way it's been running for the last, I guess we're in 2023, so almost 2 years now.
I think you already answered, how to apply for it. You just have, to get this.
Yeah, you just need to come to our office on South Industrial Highway. We're there weekdays between the hours of 8 and 5. Just bring a proof of ID showing your age, and you get your card on the spot.
And that you live in the community.
No, actually, anybody can
Oh.
apply. We get a lot of GoldRide applications the month of July, art fair. People who are
really?
coming into town.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've actually had people call from out of the country or email out of the country and send me information and said that they were going to be, using our buses when they get into town, and they wanted to be able to ride for free.
This is great information. I didn't know that, so I can really share that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then also, I think also you have the program for disabilities. People. So it's called A-Ride. So could you talk about that?
Yes. So A-Ride in the community, it's known as 3 things. A-Ride, green card, or paratransit. It's all the same program. It's just who you're talking to and
Green
what they
card,
might
it's
call it.
interesting.
Green card. Yeah, I know. It's because it has a green stripe at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So, but A-Ride is just like GoldRide is age-based. A-Ride is not age-based at all. It is based upon how a disability and how your disability prevents or substantially limits you from riding our regular fixed bus routes. So it's not disability alone, but how that disability, again, prevents or substantially limits you. There's a little bit more of a different process, of course, for applying. There is a longer application, and there's a portion for the applicant to complete, and then there's a portion for their medical professional to complete.
Okay.
And then once we receive the fully completed application in our office, the processing is done within 21 days. It not necessarily takes 21 days, but it is done within 21 days. And that is the FTA, or the Federal Transit Administration guidelines. So it is a different process. Now, with individuals who maybe sometimes are able to ride the bus, they can ride the bus currently free of charge with that card. But also, there is a shared ride service that mirrors regular fixed bus routes for persons with disabilities, and that is A-Ride. You may have seen some of the vehicles in town.
Right, I have, yeah.
All of our A-Ride vehicles are fully accessible vehicles, and that is $3 each way.
That's very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that is, that's a federal guideline
Right.
that, again, it mirrors our regular fixed bus route, and the price is based upon the regular fare for buses. So if you
Yeah.
paid a full fare, it's $1.50. A-Ride cannot be double of what that cost is. So that's why
Okay.
it's the $3.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And also, is there anything else maybe we could talk about, or we've forgotten, or you think, you want to share? Obviously it's important for the seniors. You want to know this,
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, we do have, we also have, we didn't touch anything on our FlexRide program. FlexRide is, there's one in the east, one in west, so parts of Pittsfield Township and Ypsilanti Township where our buses don't service. So FlexRide is more of a connector service, let's say.
Okay, I see.
And so it helps seniors, it helps every person in the community. I'll just pick Pittsfield Township. Let's just say, there's Walmart in
Right.
Pittsfield Township.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to get there,
Yeah.
but they can't. So you can actually call FlexRide and they would pick you up within the, I won't talk about the service areas
Yeah.
because that could be a little confusing, but Meyer on Carpenter Road
Right.
is a connector spot for it. So if you were able to take the bus to Meyer on Carpenter Road and then have FlexRide pick you up, and they would
Right.
take you directly to Saline Walmart.
Great.
So it is a great service, and again, it connects people into our service area. But all of this information can be found at our website at theride.org. I know we've talked about it very quickly, so
Yeah.
theride.org does have all of these programs, or you can also call us at our office at
We
734.
probably will, show it on the screen
Oh,
for
great.
people, who would like to contact you.
Yeah.
So that would be really wonderful.
Yeah.
No, I think this was very good. I'm always feel fantastic being in Ann Arbor, having such good public transportation. Not many places have that unless you live in a more metropolitan area.
Right.
So it's rather unusual to have such great service.
I think so too, and a lot of times people say that Ann Arbor is a big town, and it's not really. It is
No,
a very
right.
small town, but yes, we do have a great public transportation service. But sometimes there can always be more, right? So I think that it's also very important to keep talking about transportation and how we can meet more people's needs. Whether it's TheRide or connecting with other agencies and other agencies. And I think that, if you give our office a call and maybe our transportation options don't work for you,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that you would talk to one of our information specialists and they could point you in the right direction of maybe how to find transportation that does fit your needs.
Great, yes. Well, wonderful, and thank you again for taking your time to come here and giving us all this information. I learned a lot today too myself, so it has been helpful to me. I'm a senior, so anyway, and then also again we have Tracy Byrd here today, and I hope this has been helpful. And thank you for viewing the services, and I'm very grateful to you.
Well, thank you. And again, it was a pleasure being here.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
No! Yes!
Thank you for joining us on Senior Moments. Be sure to tune in every month for new shows. I'm Linda Brayman. May all of your 4th of Julys be a grateful celebration for the greatest country in the world.